I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. All this bullshit on the radio, I can't buy it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Hey yo, rap ain't food no more, I'm on a diet, word. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. All this bullshit on the radio, I can't buy it, son. I'm sick.
Tomorrow, this is a very special year for us as African people here in America because it is our 400th year in this country, specifically under white racism and domination. So we're celebrating, honoring, remembering 400 years of black struggle and resistance. The exact date where we crossed the finish line is August the 21st of 2019. But nonetheless, we're in the year 400 years. Most Africans will never live through a century of African resistance, but we're actually living through the quadricentennial. So my message tomorrow is going to be a very historic one and a unique one. Not only is it my first time to Hamden, Connecticut, it's also the occasion of the quadricentennial. So I'm very much looking forward to it. We want everyone to come out. It's going down at the Whitneyville Cultural Common Sanctuary, as you know. Lecture at 4, doors open up at 2. The address to the Whitneyville Cultural Common Sanctuary is 1247 Whitney Avenue. All children are absolutely free. Bring them on out. 17 and under, bring them on out. They're free. All elders, 65 and older, bring the elders out, absolutely free. Full-time college students with a valid ID are only $10 at the door. Everyone else, $20 online at drumarjohnson.com, and it'll be $25 at the door. And I will have copies of my book, Psychoacademic Holocaust, which I'll be signing after the lecture. But there will be a question and answer session because so much has been going on as it relates to me, Team Pan-African, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, and just a whole lot of political issues in the black community and throughout the Pan-African world. So I want to allow a question and answer session, which is simply something I normally don't do because my crowds are normally so large. But I'm going to do that on this special Black History Month occasion.
Now, do you think the questionnaire part of the show, you think that's necessary for tomorrow?
Say that again.
The questionnaire part of the show tomorrow, you think that's necessary because people need to know?
Yes, it's necessary because people need to know. And because there's so much misinformation that is put out about me by detractors and haters within the Black conscious movement by way of YouTube, right, it's always important to give people an opportunity to hear from you directly. Because if you go to YouTube and you type in Dr. Umar Johnson, you're going to get thousands of videos about Dr. Umar Johnson, and almost none of those videos will contain accurate information about me, my movement, which is Team Pan-African, or the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. And although I'm proud to say that I have more videos than any living scholar on YouTube, and I don't even have a page of my own, although that humbles me at the same time, a lot of those videos are very much disparaging and negative and are made by people who have never met me, shook my hand, or had a conversation with me. So I say that to say to my Black Connecticut family, you don't want to learn about Dr. Umar on YouTube. You want to learn about Dr. Umar from being in my same space and time. And
right,
as you know, my brother, about a year or two ago, I was going to be coming to Hamden, but I had to cancel it because the venue wasn't appropriate. So we had to postpone that. So for all those brothers and sisters who bought tickets to the lecture that should have taken place, I believe, early 2018 or 2017.
Right.
If you still have your ticket, bring it out. Your ticket will be honored. Those tickets will be honored for those brothers and sisters who purchased them, who was supposed to be there for my last visit, which did not take place.
Now, do you think that was purposely done?
It was purposely done by me because the venue, I didn't like the venue when I saw it. It really wasn't a safe one. So I had to make the decision to postpone it for safety because you always want to make sure that you have a safe event. You know, my support base spans every age group. You know, I have little brothers, 6, 7, and 8, who love and support Dr. Umar. I got mothers, I got fathers, I got elders, I got college students, I got corner boys, I got hip hop heads, I got entrepreneurs who support me. So, you know, when people bringing children out,
right,
and when
right.
people bringing elders out, you want to make sure you have a safe event. And the venue was more used for like a nightclub type of an atmosphere. It was the only thing we could find at the time. But once I visited it, I decided it wasn't appropriate. So I apologize for that. That was about a year and a half ago. But tomorrow, God willing, for sure, I'm there. We're making it happen. I'll probably be making my way up to Hamden sometime tonight, arriving in the late hours of the night. And I might even be there tomorrow night. So if there's anything going on, Black and cultural, in the Hampton, New Haven, Hartford area Saturday night, the lecture, we'll be out of there by 8. So if there's something going on a little later, like a spoken word set or anything like that, let me know because Dr. Umar Johnson might make a special appearance.
That's what's up. That's what's up, good brother. Now, a lot of people that when they found out that you was going to be calling in tonight, they wanted me to ask you about the school.
Yes.
And what the school entails.
Yes. Well, I've been consistent over the past 4 years in laying out the 6 key sciences upon which the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG, International Leadership Academy for Pan-African Excellence, will be founded upon. Now, these 6 sciences are in addition to the 5 core sciences that you're required to have by law. So you're required to have reading, math, science, history, civics. Those things are required. But so that's automatic. On top of that, it will be agricultural and agronomical science because we want our children to be living, breathing Dr. George Washington Carver's reincarnated. We want them to be able to talk to the plants like Dr. Carver did and make them grow.
Right.
In fact, I've been in communication with some Black farmers around the country. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking our children out to different Black farms around the school year where they will be given an opportunity to learn hands-on what it means to be a Black farmer, what it means to plant, grow, and harvest your own crops. We're very, very serious about this. So that's agricultural and agronomical. Then there will be political and military. Political and military will deal with understanding the world in which our children live. That means white supremacy, Black self-hatred. Why is Africa the most minerally rich continent on earth, but the people are in the poorest condition? Why is Europe one of the most minerally destitute continents on earth, but its people are the richest? Why is that? They have to understand that. Why was AIDS created? Why is the LGBT movement so popular? Why was it allowed to overtake the Black agenda? And why was a Black president in Barack Obama allowed to do that? They have to understand the world where they live. We have to teach history in the school. But what you're not required to teach is political science. And I need our young men to be political scientists par excellence. They have to be masters of the modern world, masters of modern economics, masters of modern politics, masters of modern military science. And on the military science side of the curriculum, we will teach our young people self-defense with weapons and without weapons. Traditional African martial arts systems will be taught. We will take our young men out into the wild. They will be taught how to live and survive in the wilderness. If they showed up with absolutely nothing, there will be camping trips. They will be taught how to fish, even if you don't have a fishing bow, how to make one. We want to make sure our young men can survive if they were dropped off anywhere in the world. And then we go to dietary and nutritional science, which is essentially the science of learning how to eat to live. So they will have to study Dr. Saber. They will study Dr. Laila Africa, Scott Whitaker, and all of the great naturopathic and homeopathic vegans and vegetarians that our community has produced. They're going to learn all of that and study traditional African diet on the continent. In addition to that, we have the curriculum of the Black family and the community. And what that means is we have to teach young men how to be fathers, how to be organizers, how to be leaders, how to go into a place and create that community, build that Black Wall Street, raise our people up. In addition to that, we also have the economic and financial science, where we teach our young men how to invest in stock, how to get started in real estate, how to start your own business, international investments, how we can invest in Africa, understanding all the different stock markets of the world, the Chinese stock market, and how it differs from the British stock market, and how that differs from the African stock market or the Nigerian stock market versus Wall Street in America. How does commodities translate into war? What is the relationship between resources and international warfare? Because every world war was fought for resources. In fact, nearly every war that has ever taken place in human history was fought over resources, not over religion and not over democracy. So we're going to make sure our young men understand that. And of course, we will be an independent parochial school, which means we will have a serious African spiritual basis. So our young men will be taught the science of Ifa, because that is my particular way of life.
Okay.
The spiritual science of the Yoruba. But not only will they get Ifa, they will get Dogon, they will get Kemet, they will get the Akan system. They will also get Nation of Islam. They will get Rastafari. They will get the Moors. They will get the Nawapi. Although we are revolutionary Pan-Africanists in our focus and in our foundation, we will expose our children to the rich, diverse collection of spiritual and ideological systems that exist in our community.
Wow. I mean, do you think it will be hard to draw people to that?
Absolutely not. I won't have any issue bringing students in. That's my last worry is enrollment. That's my last worry. And I say that in all humility, only because what I'm bringing to the table, no other African school has ever brought to the table in the history of this country and probably throughout the modern world. I am creating an academy that will produce Black gods.
Wow.
I am building an academy that will produce revolutionary Pan-African nationalist leaders. My students will go around the world after they graduate and build independent Black communities so that we can forge that international Pan-African liberation struggle that we have never, ever had. Do you realize we have had struggle in Africa for liberation, struggle in Europe for liberation, struggle in the Caribbean for liberation? We have never had a global revolutionary Pan-African nationalist struggle. And that is the focus of this academy, to produce the minds that will bring that about. You may not see it in your lifetime. I may not see it in my lifetime. But
Right.
I can guarantee you, when that global African revolution comes, it will be sparked and instigated and initiated by the Pan-Africanists of the FDNG Academy.
Wow. Now, where will the school be located?
Wilmington, Delaware. We have a school. It's in Wilmington, Delaware.
It's in Wilmington,
Frederick
Delaware.
Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Absolutely. We own it. I have the keys. It is ours. 4 beautiful buildings. We have 2 school buildings, by the way, not one. We have 2. We have the Frederick Douglass building and the Marcus Garvey building. The other buildings, one will be used as a community center so we can organize our people, hold events and the like, and the other one will be a Pan-African research library for brothers and sisters who really want to understand their history and culture. There will be a library that they can come into to actually learn that information. In other words, this campus will be more than a school. It will be the Taj Mahal of Black consciousness. It will be the Mecca of Black liberation. It will be the central organizing headquarters for African people in North America and probably throughout the entire world, because we're looking to host the first Pan-African Nationalist Revolutionary Conference in 2020, which is the anniversary of Marcus Garvey's 1920 New York City First International Convention of the African Peoples of the World, where the colors red, black, and green were chosen to represent the entire race. Well, the red, black, and green flag turns 100 years old next summer, 2020, and we want to commemorate that and Garvey and Pan-Africanism with a month-long conference, just like Garvey did it. A month-long conference, and the beautiful thing, brother, is we now have the space to do it.
You have the space to do it. Now, once the school is up and running, do you plan to expand all over the country?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Once we perfect the SDMG machine, and that's a borrowed phrase from Booker T. Washington, who actually inspired Marcus Garvey to be a leader. And of course, it was my great ancestor, Frederick Douglass, who inspired Booker T. But they often call Tuskegee a machine because Booker T was pumping out industrialists, Black industrialists who could build and create. Well, we want to do the same thing, but it will be more than just industry. It will be politics. It will be economics. It will be nation building. It will be Pan-Africanism. So we have the FDMG machine, where
Right.
you send your son in one way, and he comes out a totally different way, ready to nation build.
Right.
But yes, we will replicate it around the world. Once we get this first one perfected, brother, to answer your question, we will then look to franchise FD&G all across the globe.
And this is for boys and girls.
It is for boys.
Okay.
Initially, it is for boys.
Okay.
But then we do look to expand it to girls. And I might be able to expand it to girls sooner than later because we have that second school across the street.
Okay.
So one of the things that I'm exploring now is whether or not, well, let me be clear. The first year will be all boys. I don't want to get parents excited about the possibility of girls in the first year. I seriously doubt we will have girls in the first year. But there's a strong possibility that we will have girls in either the second or third year. Because since we have that separate school across the street, there's no reason why that can't be the home of the Anna Douglas and Amy Garvey Academy for Young African Princesses.
Right. Now, is there a reason you just only want boys right now? Because you're trying to build.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's an obvious reason. The school to prison pipeline is almost exclusively a male thing. Police genocide is almost exclusively a male thing. ADHD is almost exclusively a male thing. Special education is almost exclusively a male thing. High school dropout is, of course, we have thousands of young, beautiful black sisters dropping out of school, and we have to stop that. But when you look at the numbers, my brother, it is almost exclusively a male thing. When you look at the illiteracy rates in the black community, the black boys far outpace the black girls when it comes to illiteracy. So by no means are we arguing that African boys are more important than African girls. By no means are we arguing that. We're simply stating that we're going to begin where the greatest need has to be addressed, and that is clearly with our young men. And we should understand why. Because in order to destroy your nation, you have to destroy the male, because the male is the protector and the defender of the female. That doesn't mean our sisters can fight by our side.
Right.
But the man is the protector and defender of the woman. So if they can destroy the black man, it is almost impossible to stop them from destroying the black family and the black community. So we're simply starting where the greatest need is. And what I tell our black women is by starting with the boys, we're taking care of the women as well. Because if it's one thing that black women are always complaining about in our community, and they have a right to because they are correct to some extent, and that is the lack of unapologetically African alpha males who can build, who can create, and who can procreate with our sisters and raise and build strong black families. So making sure we got strong black men, I would argue that we're definitely looking out for our strong black women.
Absolutely. I seen somebody in the comments said we also need young girls to be getting the knowledge too. I don't know if they heard you when you said at some point you're going to have another school for the women, but right now the focus is on black males because it's needed.
Absolutely.
Now,
we must ultimately include our girls, but we're starting with the boys, and I say that unapologetically.
Absolutely. Now, I had a young lady reach out to me who's of the LGBT community, and she wanted to know, would it be okay? I told her I believed, yes. She wanted to know, coming to your show tomorrow, would that be an issue? Because for some reason...
Of course, that's my sister.
Right.
That is my sister. I love my sisters, and I love my brothers. Yes, I do not support LGBT behavior because there's nothing positive that's systematically going to come to our community as a result of that behavior. But with that being said, at the end of the day, I am a psychologist, a certified school psychologist, a doctor of clinical psychology, and I understand that there are issues that grow up in our families that lead our young men and women into these lifestyles. So although I can disagree with the lifestyle, I can still love the African life that engages in it. When I go and speak in the prison, I don't condone the behaviors that brought our men to prison. But I understand that there were political, economic, social, psychological factors that aggravated those crimes that led to those others being in jail. So I can disagree with your behavior and still love you as an African man or woman, all Africans. Let me say it again, all Africans. Let me say it one more time. All Africans, whether I agree with you or whether you agree with me or not, are always invited to come to a Dr. Umar Johnson event. And they will be respected, brother.
Yes, sir.
I've had lesbian women give me hugs. Brother, I know you don't agree with me. but thank you for still respecting me. I got homosexual black men, brother, who will call me up and say, Dr. Umar, yes, I'm gay. I know you don't agree with it, but I need to talk to you because I ain't got nobody else to talk to.
Right.
They will come to me, someone who doesn't even agree with the lifestyle, before they go to someone else. And I'm humbled by that, brother, because it says that they can feel my love. They can feel my love above and beyond the fact that we will agree to disagree on the lifestyle.
Right. And you said that she's watching right now, so
She should come up.
Yeah.
And when she come out, tell her at the end, let me know. She can introduce herself. You know, Doc, I'm an LGBT. You know, we might disagree there, but you know, you still my brother, and I'm gonna say you still my sister. We gonna hug, and I'm gonna sign a book, we'll take a picture, or not. But you know, we family, so ain't no homosexuals or lesbians got anything to fear from me. You know, and at some point there's going to need to be a conversation because we've never had one. We've never had a conversation between those of us who don't agree and those who do agree. A respectable, non-emotional conversation so we can hear each other out and feel each other out and recognize that although we may have to struggle separately, we may still be struggling on some levels for the same thing.
Okay. That's well said. She's watching, so I'm sure
tomorrow's going to be powerful.
Tomorrow's going to be interesting.
For those brothers and sisters who've never heard me in the flesh, they need to come out. Because you won't hear nobody else like you hear me. And I'm only parroting what brothers and sisters have told me around the world. And I don't want to come off arrogant because I'm a very humble brother.
Right.
If I wasn't, I wouldn't stand up for 2-3 hours after lectures and take pictures. If
right.
I wasn't, I wouldn't be on the phone for hours giving out free consultation with our parents. So I'm a very, very humble brother. You understand? But at the same time, I recognize that I have a voice that is not being repeated anywhere in our country. You have a lot of brothers talking Egypt science. You got a lot of brothers talking Hebrew. You got a lot of brothers talking Moor. You got a lot of brothers talking Nawapi. You even got a lot of brothers talking Pan-Africanism. But you ain't got nobody in this country that's educating and empowering black parents with the specific tactics and techniques that they need to go into the public schools of Hartford and go into the public schools of New Haven and go into the public schools of Bridgeport and go into the public schools of Hamden and throughout the state of Connecticut and throughout Massachusetts and Maine and New Hampshire and Rhode Island and go into those meetings and educate and school those white folks who are trying to put our kids in special ed and put them on ADHD medicine. I'm the only psychologist. If you know another one, I want to know their name. If there's another black psychologist who travels the country educating black parents on the science of how to protect your children from the school to prison pipeline, give me a name. I am the only certified school psychologist in the black conscious movement who is shaking down the system the way that I'm doing it. So if you're raising black children who have not yet graduated from high school, and you've never attended a Dr. Umar Johnson event, and you've never read Dr. Umar Johnson's book, Psychoacademic Holocaust, The Special Education and ADHD Wars Against Black Boys, you've never read that book, you've never heard this man, then I'm going to question how serious you are about raising your children.
Oh, man. Now,
unapologetic.
Now, you said school to prison.
Yes, sir.
And kid. Now when I went to school, there was special ed for kids that was allegedly who couldn't function with the rest of the population of school. Is that what you're talking about as far as? Absolutely.
Special education. And we're going to go into more depth tomorrow. But special education is a federal law created by an act of Congress in 1975, known as Public Law 94-142. It was called the Education for All Handicapped Children Act. In the 1990s, that law was renamed, and it is now called the Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act. It is a federal law, which means every public school and every charter school in the United States must adhere, uphold, and honor this law. So that means if you have a parent living in New York or New Jersey who says, I was going to come to hear Dr. Umar lecture, but he's focusing on Connecticut, what they fail to realize is although we may focus on Connecticut, the information and the strategies that I'm going to give you tomorrow at 4 o'clock in Hamden, Connecticut, they're going to be strategies that you can take with you if you move to Hawaii. You can take with you if you move to Texas, Florida, Georgia, Michigan, and Detroit. This is wherever the United States government is. There is federal special ed, and you need to know how it operates. And if you're raising a black boy, if you have a black boy in your stomach, or you got one in your arms, or you got one in your house, at some point in your son's life, 1 out of every 3 black boys, a third of us, would have been referred for some form of special education. And the parents in Connecticut, our black Connecticut family, has to answer the question when white folks ask them, can we evaluate Raheem for a learning disability? Can we evaluate Shaniqua for intellectual disability? Can we evaluate little Rashad for an emotional disturbance? Can you take your son to the community clinic and have him evaluated for ADHD? We would like him to take Ritalin. We would like him to take Adderall. We would like him to take Concerta. We would like him to take Medicaid. You have to be able to respond non-emotionally and academically and in an informed way to the white folks. You got to know how to shut them down. And most black parents don't know how to shut them down. And that's why I'm coming to Connecticut tomorrow, 4 o'clock, Hamden, to teach our black family how to shut them down.
Now, say if a parent, I know a lot of people are, and I know you can agree with this, are afraid. Because,
Yes.
You don't put your kid in school, they come knocking on the door, they taking your kids, they taking you to jail. So, realistically, Dr. Umar, a lot of people are scared. What would you tell them if they say, doctor, I'm scared to go about it that way because the system seems to win all the time?
No, the system wins because we go along with the system at first. And then we try to buck the system in the end. I want to be very clear about this because you're raising a very valid point, my brother. When you hear about these kids who got taken from their parents because they wouldn't give them the medicine,
right,
wouldn't let them get evaluated for special ed, let me tell you what happens with most of those situations, my brother. They start out with us collaborating with the enemy. They start out with us collaborating. If you look at most of those cases, 99% of the time, there's a few exceptions, but 99% of the time, we went along with the school system. And then after we saw how special ed was a detriment to our child, after we saw how the psychiatric medication began to bring out side effects that were negatively affecting our child, that's when we decided to end our relationship with white folks. Or at that point, it's too late. You know why? Because once you put them in special ed, they can force you to keep them in. Once you put them on drugs, they can force you to keep them on drugs. Once you accept that diagnosis in the first place, they can force you to keep it on. In other words, my brother, the best intervention is prevention. In other words, black parents in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont need to learn how to just say no. Learn how to just say no. Our problem is we don't learn how to just say no. We want to go along with the system until we realize they lied to us, then we want to fuck the system. It's too late. Stay out the system in the first place.
Right. Wow. That's something. Now,
let me say this real quick,
yes,
just
sir.
to add to that quickly.
Okay.
85% of all special education referrals, black or white, 85% are male and they are for reading. Let me say that again.
They're also reading?
85% of all kids referred for special education in America, black, white, rich, poor, are boys and they are referred for reading problems. You know what that means?
What's that mean?
If the black community would just teach its children how to read, if the black community would turn off the cell phone, the iPad, the laptop, the high-definition TV, and put a damn book in the hands of these black boys, we wouldn't have no special ed problem. And if you don't have a special ed problem, you don't have a school-to-prison pipeline problem, because special ed is the school to prison pipeline.
Okay. I have a young lady on the comment saying, not every case you can say no. Now, is it every case you can tell them no?
Say that again. Is it every case?
Every case, when they give you what you said earlier, you can just tell them no. Is that in every situation?
You can always say no.
Okay.
You can always say no.
Okay.
A school cannot. Now, let me get some clarity. Let me get some clarity. Let me repeat what I said.
Okay.
A school cannot force a parent to have their child evaluated or medicated. That is a fact.
Okay.
That is a fact. Okay? But after you let them label your child, they can now force you to put them in special ed. Do you see that?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
If you see what's going on, you're still going along with the system. You signed permission for the child to be tested. And Dr. Umar's question is, for what? For what?
So what you're saying is you can't just
Why did you
halfway
let these
start.
white folks evaluate a 6, 7, 8-year-old black boy in the first place?
Okay.
First of all, it doesn't even make sense most of the time. Most of the parents who call me up for personal consultation and let my Black Connecticut and New England family know that if you ever need a personal one-on-one consultation with Dr. Umar Johnson, you can text message me at 215-989-9858. Again, 215-989-9858. They can message me, and I will respond with a paragraph that basically gives them all the information they need to send me all the information they got, pay the $75 consultation fee, and then we will arrange a conversation on the telephone where we'll go through all the child's paperwork, and I will tell them exactly how to deal with that situation. Now, let me get back to answering your question.
Okay.
They can't make you medicate or evaluate your child. They can't. Now, where is the exception? Let me tell you what the exception is. The exception is when you're a trifling parent. The exception is when your child don't go to school that often. The exception is when the school tries to reach you and they can't find you. In other words, let me say this, black man. If you're refusing the medication or the evaluation and you're not taking an active part in your child's education, it can then become an issue of parental neglect or abuse. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
You see that?
Yes.
In other words, if Dr. Umar not raising his daughters right, they're coming to school late, not coming to school at all, not doing their homework, school can't find me, kids always getting in trouble, and there's no response from home. Now, they can create a narrative that you are a neglectful or abusive parent. And then they can bring in child protective services who can take parental rights from you, and they can get the school permission to evaluate your child. So again, they can't make you evaluate or medicate your kid. But if you are trifling, and if you give them the excuse, they will bring child protective services into the situation, and then they will take parental control from you, and they will give them permission.
Right. Yeah, and somebody just said in the comment, I was thinking exactly what he's saying. It's on the parents. It's definitely on the parents. And
I'm going to say it's not. I'm going to say it's not on the parents. It's on the community.
It's on the community.
We have to start getting back to community, and I'm saying that not to correct you, black man, but as I travel the world, I keep hearing this. I was in China, and I hear this. I was in Europe, and I hear this. You know, when I'm in Canada, I hear this. South America, I hear this. In the Caribbean, I hear this. People keep talking about how it's the parents' job. No, it's not. We have an African proverb that says it takes a village to raise a child. It doesn't say it takes the parents to raise the child. It takes a village to raise the child. And if it takes a village to raise our children, why are we not holding the black church for their failure to support our parents?
Uh-oh.
Why are we not holding our black community organizations accountable for their failure to support? Why are we not holding our black athletes and entertainers, our black businessmen, our black bourgeois professionals? Why is it that black mothers who are already doing the best job they can, raising multiple children alone, many of them struggling financially in multiple jobs, why are we making it their responsibility exclusively? Why are we scapegoating black mothers for a job that the whole community should be a part of?
Well, these days, I'm gonna keep it real with you, doctor. These days, you really can't say anything to somebody's kid. Because they'll be, I know he's talking to my kid like that. You know, it's changed. It's not the old days. I mean,
and guess what?
What's that?
I don't have a problem with a black mother saying to you or Dr. Umar, who are you to chastise my child?
Okay.
I don't have a problem with them saying that today. Today. And the reason I don't have a problem with them saying that today is because we don't have a right to chastise their child if we didn't give them a hand raising that child. In other words, you have to discipline children with love.
Okay.
A child will only respect discipline if it comes from a place of love. Anytime an adult chastises a child that they don't care for, that wasn't punishment. That was child abuse. The only time chastisement can be considered chastisement is if it's done through love and not neglect.
That's heavy. That's heavy. So if I'm chastising this kid, and I really don't care about this kid. I'm just I'm just doing it just to be doing it.
You know what you're doing? You know what you're doing?
What's that?
You're doing the same thing that police officer did to Michael Brown.
Woo.
You're doing the same thing that police officer did to Freddie Gray. You're doing the same thing that police officer did to little Tamir Rice up in Cleveland, Ohio, whose mother I spoke with on the phone a couple years ago. Trayvon Martin, whose father I spoke with on the phone a couple years ago. You're doing the same thing them damn devils did to our kids. Punishing without love leads to abuse or worse.
Wow. Your show is going to be interesting tomorrow.
It's the greatest thing on earth. You don't come out of a Dr. Umar. You don't come out of a Dr. Umar event. My job, I had 3 responsibilities, brother, because I don't believe in wasting people's time.
Right.
Our lives consist of years. Those years consist of months. Those months consist of weeks. Those weeks consist of days, and those days consist of hours. So your life is lived every single minute. And I don't intend to bring Black Connecticut out tomorrow to waste 3 hours of their time. I don't intend to do that. I intend to educate, to invigorate, to motivate, and to stimulate. Okay, my job is to resurrect Black consciousness and Black creativity. My job, through the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy, is to bring about Black excellence. And in order to bring about Black excellence, we have to organize for excellence. And I want Black Connecticut to know right here and right now that I have included Connecticut. I have included Connecticut in Team Pan-African's Mid-Atlantic Movement. The Mid-Atlantic Movement is a new initiative by my organization, Team Pan-African, to begin the rebirth of the Pan-African Renaissance and to start that rebirthing on the East Coast through the Mid-Atlantic Movement, which will consist of 7 states with my school in Delaware as the new capital of Black America. The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy is the headquarters. Wilmington, Delaware is the location. Delaware is the new capital of Black America. And we are including the state of Maryland, the state of Delaware, Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Connecticut is the 7th and final state of Team Pan-African's Marcus Garvey Mid-Atlantic Movement. If there's anybody in Connecticut who wants to help us organize our brothers and sisters in the streets of Connecticut, bring me your resume tomorrow. Bring it and put it in my hand. Dr. Umar, I heard you on the radio last night. I've been waiting to be a part of something like this in Connecticut. I want to be a part of Team Pan-African. I want to be a part of your Mid-Atlantic Movement. Here's my resume. Let me know where I can get in, where I fit in. And if you want to work at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy in Delaware, bring your resume for that. So you can bring a resume for the school if you want to teach or work. You can bring a resume to be part of the Mid-Atlantic Movement, or you can bring a resume that includes both the Mid-Atlantic Movement and the FDMG Academy. Tomorrow is about organizing, brother. I have to come back to Connecticut in the next couple months, and I have to host a community town hall meeting of the mind, which is not a lecture. Tomorrow is the information. Tomorrow is the lecture. But when I come back, it will not be to lecture. It will be to moderate a conversation amongst Black Connecticut And there will probably be a couple. There will probably be one in Hartford. There'll probably be one in New Haven. We're going to do a couple of them where we talk about the core areas affecting our community. We're going to talk about black-on-black crime.
Okay.
We're going to talk about male-female relationships. We're going to talk about the black vote. We're going to talk about the black church, where y'all talk to each other about what we need to do to organize Black Connecticut, and I'm the moderator. I'm the organizer. I'm listening to what y'all say. My secretaries are taking notes, and from all that rich dialogue that we're going to get at the Connecticut Teen Pan-African Meeting of the Mind, we're going to then roll that over into the Teen Pan-African chapters that will be sprouting up all around Connecticut, because a Black Pan-African Garveyite is born every second in the ghettos of Connecticut.
Yeah, you dropping it. You coming through. Now, if white people come to your event, will they be turned away?
I can't turn white folks away from events if the building where the event is being hosted is a publicly funded building or if they receive public funds. So let me give you an example.
Okay.
When I have meetings at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, we can turn white people away.
Okay.
Because it is not a public funded event. It is independent. It is private, Black dollars only. So we can tell white folks this is African family only. You can't come here. We can do that because we own it. You own it, brother. Everybody listen to your show. They own the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Entrust to Teen Pan-African and Dr. Umar to do it right. But the building is owned by the race. Private Black money paid for that school we got in Delaware, brother. But tomorrow, I don't know the brother's situation, and I thank the brother for allowing me to host the event there. But if he's receiving public funds, government funds, I don't want to disrupt or sabotage in any way my brother's operation. So if white folks show up, white folks show up. And to be honest with you, brother, we don't really own a lot of real estate, Black folks. We don't really own a lot. Yeah. So most of the time we're using buildings that are either owned by non-Africans or buildings that receive public funding. So in respect to that, I never turn away white folks because I would hate to see our brothers sued by the white folks for refusing to let them in. I don't want to mess with that brother's operation. He's doing a service to our community. So if white folks show up, and there's normally a few, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with it because I'm not here to practice racism. I'm here to destroy it.
Okay. And your critics are definitely invited.
Of course. Of course. I fear no man. I only fear my maker, supreme consciousness, Lord God, the divine, omnipotent one of the universe. I fear no man. There's always haters in my audience, brother. As long as they conduct themselves in an African fashion, I don't have no problem with that. There's always haters. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes they got to come to here and report back to the hate camp. And let me be clear. There are more Dr. Umar hate groups in the Black community than in the white community. Let me say it again. There are more Dr. Umar hate groups in the Black community than in the white community. Yes. Now, 99% of our people love me around the world. I'm the most requested scholar of my race on the planet. There's no Black scholar you can name on this planet who's requested to speak around the world as much as I am. Right. None. I am number one. With that being said, that 1% that represents the haters, they are a very active and a very verbal hate group. They put out YouTube videos of misinformation damn near every single day against me. You understand? So they often give the false impression that I have a lot of haters. I don't have a lot of haters, but the haters I do have are very committed to doing their job well. They are very committed to doing their job well. But getting back to what I was going to say.
Okay.
For those haters to show up who are not on official duty to just report back my message and record it and tape it, many of them come, brother, because they're attracted to the light. Okay. They are attracted to the light. See, let's be clear, brother. We live in a universe that is based on spirit. No matter how much, and I'm going to use you for an example. I know you're not a Dr. Umar hater. At least I don't think you are. I'm going to use you as an example.
Okay.
You may dislike me, but your spirit cannot help but respond to the energy that emanates from my spirit. Truth is consistent. So no matter how much of a hater you might be, you're still going to be drawn to the light. So the reason haters come out to see Dr. Umar, people who totally disagree with me, will come out and they don't even know why they're there. Why am I here? I don't even like this man. I can tell you why you're here. Because I am manifesting God. I am manifesting the Christ energy on earth. And because we all have the Christ energy in us, and we all have God in us, whenever a God is on stage manifesting his Father in heaven, you are ordered by your soul to show up and represent. And that's why there will even be haters tomorrow at the Dr. Umar lecture, because when God comes to town, you can't help but show the hell up.
No, I definitely don't hate you, bro. I think you're a great dude. Now, I've seen a lot of hatred towards you. And me, you're stronger than me, because at some point, some people would say, you know what? I give up, man. And I know you're not that kind of guy.
I can't give up, brother. I was born. Let me be clear. It's no coincidence, brother, that I'm where I'm at.
Okay.
It's no coincidence that I got discovered on the international scene the way that I did, even though I've been struggling as a Garveyite for years. It's no coincidence I have all the degrees that I got. It's no coincidence that the black family gave me $750,000 to purchase this school earlier this month. It's no coincidence I'm the most successful scholar on the planet. It's no coincidence. This is all by divine design. This is ancestral. That's what this is. The ancestors put me here, just like they did Malcolm, just like they did King, just like they did Nat Turner, and I'm not comparing myself to them. I can't fill those shoes. I want to be clear. I cannot fill those shoes, but I carry the same Christ energy as my forefathers did. And I was put here to do a job. See, I'm not like certain people I could name in the conscious community who are only in the conscious community to make some money. I'm not like certain people who are only in the conscious community to monetize a YouTube page and get some YouTube money based on advertising negativity. I'm not like some folks who looking to use consciousness so they can leapfrog into entertainment or leapfrog into politics. Brother, believe you me, as surely as I'm sitting here talking to you in Philadelphia and will be in your space tomorrow, I was put on this planet to do nothing but fight for the liberation, salvation, and resurrection of African people. I have been about this life since I was a fourth grader in Black History class. Since I was 9 years old, brother, I've been about this. I'm not somebody who woke up last night. I'm not somebody who came to consciousness when I was in college or came to consciousness in high school. I've been about this since I was in the fourth grade. I don't know nothing else. I was born to do this work, and you will never catch me doing anything but this work.
Okay, definitely. Good answer. That was a good answer. I've never doubted you. I've watched you a lot. I've checked you out.
Let me say this.
Okay.
Not just to you, but to the entire African family that's listening tonight.
Okay.
And again, if they need to reach me, if they need to text me, if they got a question about the event tomorrow, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. And let me also say, brother, before I forget, the first 30 children, 12 and under, the first 30 children, 12 and under tomorrow, will get a free, brand new Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey, or National Independent Black Parent Association, or King Pan-African, or Unapologetically African book bag. We have 4 different types of book bags, all different types of colors, blue, red, pink, gold, you name it. And the first 30 children, 12 years of age or younger, will get a free book bag, the first 30 who walk through the door. So parents, please be on time when the doors open up at 2, and make sure your baby get that RBG book bag from Dr. Umar. But this is what I wanted to say.
Okay. I got a couple of questions from you from the panel. I'll get to them.
No problem. I got you, bro. We good. We good. I got you.
Okay.
Don't worry about the 9 o'clock. We can probably go maybe 30 minutes after.
Okay.
But let me say this. Dr. King once said, the world is in greater peril, not because of those who do evil, but because of those who sit by, observe it, and do nothing about it. I'm not saying that you are obligated to defend Dr. Umar when he is attacked. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I don't need defense. But I am saying to any African listening to this conversation tonight, if you claim to be a serious worker on behalf of African freedom and liberation, if you claim to be serious about liberating our people, saving our children, building our families, supporting our sisters, empowering our black men, and you concede that Dr. Umar is probably the foremost person doing that work in your age group, and you watch people attack this brother who haven't even done half the work that this brother has done, and I'm not talking lectures. Even though I lecture more than any scholar in the world, I'm not including that as struggle. I'm talking about the hours I spend working with parents, the hours I spend on the phone, the hours I spend evaluating our children, the hours I spend in the prisons and the halfway houses and the juvenile detention centers, the hours I spent flying around this country looking for a school with the little bit of money we had and finally got a school, and now we're going to open up the school for black boys within the next year. I struggle for us. I show and prove. I manifest. Can you name another person in the conscious community that is building an institution for us? Can you name another person in the conscious community who has crowdfunded to buy a school so our children can be properly educated? No, you cannot. I am the only one. And because I am the only one, anybody who claims to be serious about saving our people and sit by and let people disrespect and denigrate and misrepresent the work of Dr. Umar, who represents you, then you ain't nothing but a hypocrite. In this year, 2019, it's time for us to show and prove. Ain't nobody going to stand around me and disrespect a brother or sister who I know is fighting, who ain't sitting on YouTube making video after video trying to get some YouTube dollars. Black consciousness ain't nothing but a damn YouTube stunt. That's all it is.
Right.
Negroes sitting on YouTube videos every day, all day long, and they ain't doing nothing but talking about gossip. Gossiping about this person, gossiping about that person, attacking this, debating this person. Ain't nothing going on in black consciousness but more debate and more documentary. I got a new documentary out. We got a new debate. I got a new documentary out. We got a new debate. Where is the nation building? Where is the institution building? That's what Dr. Umar is about.
And your friend Ife said thank you for the call in tonight. You know who Ife is, right?
Ife, indeed, for sure.
She said thank you. And a young lady, her name is Dina. She said she's torn in between with you because what is your issue with Mr. Eric Michael Dyson? What do you have against him? Her name is Dina.
I don't have anything against him. I don't understand what she's talking about.
Okay.
I don't. Well, let me clarify. I do understand what she's talking about, although her conclusion and assumption are totally inaccurate.
Okay.
I constructively criticize Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, who I tremendously respect.
Okay.
And I criticize Ice Cube, our hip-hop artist turned movie producer, because they both were guests on the Bill Maher show.
Absolutely.
When about a year or two ago, you remember, Bill Maher called himself a house nigger.
Yes, he did.
On TV.
I watched the show.
And both of them forgave him for doing that. And the reason I have a problem with that, if a black person would have made a derogatory name about a Jew, do you think they would have been forgiven on national television?
Okay.
Their career would have been over. It would have been over. And the fact that they allowed this man to do that and then say, we accept your apology, to me, that was very beta male behavior, and it was unacceptable. Even if you wanted to accept his apology, you have to make him earn that acceptance. You have to make him earn. You have to stop letting people think it's okay to disrespect black people as long as you apologize. I am sick and tired of us as black people accepting apologies as a form of restitution. An apology is not restitution. The Nazis apologized to the European Jews for the Holocaust, the Jewish Holocaust.
Okay.
Do you think the European Jews accepted that as restitution because the Nazis said we're sorry? The United States government apologized to the Japanese who were interned in California during World War II. They apologized after they let them out. Do you think the Japanese accepted an apology? The Japanese said we want reparations. The European Jews said we want reparations. Bill Maher needed to give black people reparations. I'm not talking financial either. Not no damn money. But Bill Maher should have been made to produce a series of shows that expose racism in America and that also expose the black excellence that is on display in our community every single day that mainstream media never even covers. They should have made him pay a form of restitution to the community. And instead of that, they just said, we accept. Why do you think black people don't get no respect? All we want is a damn apology, and we accept that apology. Not good enough. I respect Michael Eric Dyson. Okay, I don't agree with him politically. He's an integrationist. Okay, and I do not believe that integration in any way, shape, or form is a solution for black folks. We've been there, done that 400 years. It's time for something to do something else. But I understand he works for a white university, and if you got to be a nationalist. You're going to work for white folks, you're going to have to be an integrationist. You can't be a nationalist. They're not comfortable with black folks saying black people need their own reality. So I understand he's under constraints to say that. I think he knows better. Michael Eric Dyson is too intelligent. He is too intelligent for you to make me think that he actually believes black people can coexist with white folks. I know he knows better than that. But because he's under economic constraints, professional constraints, academic constraints, he has to sing that song that was written by his master. Dr. Umar don't sing no song. I only sing the songs that I want to sing. I don't scratch unless I itch, and I don't dance unless I like to eat.
Oh, my God. I got the man
this
on
is
the
Marcus Garvey coming back. I am Marcus Garvey reincarnated. I am Nat Turner reincarnated. I am El Hajj Malik El Shabbat. I am Shaka Gona. I am Patrice Lumumba reincarnated. I am Steve Biko. I am Dr. King. I am Medgar Evers. I am George Jackson. I am Fred Hampton. I am Steve Biko. I am Robert Dubukwe. I am His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I the Third. I am Robert Purvis, Bishop Turner, Denmark Vesey, Gabriel Prosper. I am all of my ancestors and more reincarnated.
And you're not afraid. Government, nobody.
Nobody, brother. Listen, brother. When you study Malcolm and Martin, and of course we should have all poured some libation out for Brother Malcolm, who we lost.
Yes.
Yesterday. I believe yesterday was the 21st of February when Malcolm was murdered.
Yeah.
And we should have also poured out some libation the day before, on February the 20th, which is the day that we lost the greatest black leader of the 19th century, my 4-time great-grand cousin, the great Frederick Douglass. When you look at Malcolm and Martin, they last couple of years, according to their friends, because I was not born yet, and according to their interviews and looking at the footage, they have become so overcome with the idea that they may be killed that it basically stole the last years of their life. When you do this work, you have to discipline yourself you have to control that fear. We all have it. We all have it. I know that when I get off that airplane. I know that when I walk out that hotel room. I know that when I get out that rental car. I know that when I walk to that stage. I know that when I'm on that stage, brother. I know the risk. I know them. All of my ancestors knew those risks. Some of them, unfortunately, succumbed to those risks. I know it. So my work is not a joke. It's not a joke.
Okay.
And I hate when people make a mockery of my work because I'm risking my life, brother. I got 2 daughters.
Oh, wow.
I got 2 little girls, man.
Right.
I want to walk them down the aisle when they get me. I have a mother who's my responsibility, my exclusive responsibility. I am full-time caretaker for my mother, brother.
Wow.
I don't ever want her to get no phone call talking about Umar ain't coming home. Jermaine ain't coming home tonight.
Right.
My work ain't no joke, and that's why I don't associate with people who think it's funny to make jokes about Dr. Umar. This man is out here risking his life. I'm not sitting around paying white people to make DVDs. I'm not sitting around here holding debates. I'm not sitting around here teaching about ancient Egypt. The white man don't give a damn about none of that. He ain't scared about no documentary. He ain't scared about no damn debates. He ain't scared about no trip to ancient Egypt, no Egypt books. That shit don't scare the white man. But what I'm doing, educating black kids, what I'm doing, organizing black people, organizing black families, building schools to create a new African psyche, teaching black parents about special ed, undermining the school to prison pipeline, undermining the legal drug cartel, brother. That's dangerous.
It absolutely
Ritalin is a $30 billion a year business. Special education is a multi-million-dollar business. By educating and exposing and showing black parents how to fight this, I am undermining the money chain. My work is a direct threat to white supremacy. It is a direct threat to white supremacy. So I don't take my work lightly, and I won't allow anybody else to do it either.
David, a young man, David Guest said he's interested in knowing what kind of staff accreditation will this school have.
Well, first of all, you get your accreditation from the state, your ability to function. As far as seeking accreditation from white folks, I have no interest in that. So if he's interested in white accreditation for my school, then he can go somewhere else, because I'm not looking for white folks to validate my curriculum or my school system. Private schools are just that. They're private. Independent schools are just that. They're independent. You are given the accreditation to operate by the state. The state must approve you. Now, beyond that, there are voluntary accreditation that you can seek out if you need the approval of white people. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I am a 20-year certified school psychologist, right?
Okay.
There is an organization called the National Association of School Psychologists, NASP, National Association of School Psychologists. Are you required to be accredited by them to practice as a school psychologist? No, absolutely not. But if you want to make your resume look better, if you want some more prestige, if you want to improve your image in the field of psychology, you can voluntarily take the test, which I did, pass the test, which I did, pay your money every year, which I used to do, and call yourself a nationally certified school psychologist, which I was. I voluntarily withdrew membership from the organization. Why? Because I said, why am I paying money to this white professional group that isn't doing a damn thing about school to prison? They're not doing a damn thing about the over-identification of ADHD in black children. They're not doing a damn thing about the over-medication of black children. They're not doing a damn thing about the over-classification of black boys with emotional disturbance and behavior problems. Why am I paying a white organization that the law does not require I belong to, giving them my hard-earned money, and then not doing them to help our children? So I withdrew my membership. So if I decide at some point in the future that the Frederick Douglass or Marcus Garvey Academy wants to go after a certain white accreditation, I will go after it. But as an independent thinker, with an independent school, representing an independent movement, Revolutionary Pan-African Nationalism, I have no intention whatsoever to seek white people's approval for what I do, what I teach, or what I say. So then you might ask the question, how will we know that the children are learning well?
Okay.
The same way you do in schools. You bring in independent test companies to evaluate your children, and they will let you know how your child does on a national standard. So we will be giving out nationally standardized assessments. That way you can tell what the child is. But I'm going to tell you the biggest way that parents are going to know that their child will properly educate. Because our children will outscore the children of any other school. When if there's ever a head-to-head and we have to evaluate, like, okay, this school is going to take this test and Dr. Umar's kids are going to take the test, hands down, my kids are going to outscore any other school.
Wow.
That's how much quality of an education we're going to get. So the accreditation is in the manifestation of the test scores. That's going to be it. Okay, when they take that SAT to get into college, when they take that LSAT to go to law school, they take that MCAT, and your child come back scoring in the top percentile, 99th percentile in the country, that's how you're going to know that FDMG did exactly what FDMG was supposed to do.
Ife wanted to know, will you be doing background checks for the adults that will be working with the children?
You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. You're required.
You're required by law.
People who cannot work with children, you're required by law. You don't have a choice. Even though it's an independent school, you don't have a choice.
Okay, you have to do that. I know. I understand now why a lot of people might shy away from you, because you pull no punches. And this is what I've been like. I've talked to people about you. Like, what do you think of him? He's a little too straightforward for me. And I've,
Exactly.
I,
Niggas, you know why? Because Negroes want to be lied to. Negroes want to be lied to. Listen to me, brother. You're talking to a psychologist.
I'm listening to you.
What are the two? What are the two? And again, brothers and sisters, just to let them know in case they come in late, it's going down tomorrow. The Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson, the black community's #1 most requested scholar on the planet, #1 black school psychologist in history, #1 orator alive, the blood relative of the great Frederick Douglass, will be in Hampton, Connecticut tomorrow at the Whitneyville Cultural Commons Sanctuary. Okay, 4 o'clock. Doors open up at 2 o'clock. All children are free, 17 and under. All children are free. All elders, 65 and older, free. All they have to do is show up. First 30 kids through the door get a free, brand new, unapologetically African book bag. Everybody else, tickets is 20 online, 25 at the door. Make sure you bring your credit card or exact change. If
Absolutely.
you're buying your ticket at the door, exact change or credit card. Okay?
And
Don't come here talking about I need change for 100. We ain't got change for 100. Exact change or credit card. Full-time college students with ID, $10. But let me say, this is what I was going to say to you, brother.
Okay.
And bring your resume if you want to be a part of Team Pan-African Connecticut. I need an army of black Connecticut people. I need a black Connecticut family. If you are a serious black woman, serious black man, you cannot be sexually confused. You cannot be dating an alien. You cannot be praying to white Jesus. Your head must be nappy. Black woman, you can't be permed and processed working with me. Happy to be nappy is what we do.
You are
Happy to be nappy is what we do. Sisters, if you want to work at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, you got to be natural. If you want to be a leader in Team Pan-African, you got to be natural. Let me clarify, my brother.
Okay.
You don't have to be natural to be a member of Team Pan-African. You do have to be natural to be a leader in team. In other words, if you have a sister who's going to head up a committee, she's going to head up a chapter of either Team Pan-African or the National Independent Black Parent Association, she got to be natural. But if you got a sister who just wants to be a member, I'm a parent, I want to join, I'm not looking for leadership, she can bring her perm on it. That's all right. But you cannot represent my organization as an official of the organization without being happy to be nappy. But the point I wanted to make to you,
Okay.
2 things that all mentally ill people have in common. 2 things. Number 1, they are in denial. Denial.
Mm-hmm.
The #1 symptom of mental illness is denial. People who are drug addicts don't like to admit they're drug addicts. Pedophiles don't like to admit they're pedophiles. People addicted to pornography don't want to admit they're addicted to pornography. Women who are addicted to domestically abusive men, they don't like to admit that they are emotionally thirsty. They don't like to admit that. So the first thing you got to do is you got to get people to accept their truth. Black people are mentally ill people. We are in denial about who we are. We are in denial about what we are. We are in denial about where we are. And the other symptom of mental illness, so one is denial, the other is an inability to perceive and interpret your reality truthfully and honestly. Did you hear that? Mentally ill, they're not the person who's addicted to cigarettes, they're not really able to see their addiction as truthfully and as honestly as they need to. That's black people. That's why you got black folks who say Barack Obama was the best thing that happened to us. What did he do? Nothing, but he was still the best thing that happened to us. Why?
Because he was a black man. That they was happy.
Nah, brother. We need substance over symbols.
Okay. Wow.
Because if you tell a white man, all you got to do is give me somebody that looks like me in order to control me. All you got to do is give me somebody who looks like me in order to control me. Brother, that's not good because they'll give you Cory Booker. They'll give you Kamala Harris. They'll give you Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. They'll give you Steve Harvey. They'll give you every Negro they can find. And behind that Negro's face, they will run a white supremacy operation on you, the likes of which you've never seen. And they did that with Barack Obama. Black people were worse after Obama than they were before Obama. Worse after Obama than before Obama because you told white folks that all this man had to do was be black. He ain't got to do nothing for me. All he got to do is be black, and that's a damn shame. You should never tell your oppressor. You should never give your oppressor the weapon that he needs to hang you with.
Let me give the people that address tomorrow. It's at the. I got the flyer. I'm posting the flyer on the show as we speak. The address is 1247 Whitney Avenue in Hamden, Connecticut, the Whitneyville Cultural Commons Sanctuary. That's in, everybody knows Whitney Avenue. You know where it's at. And that's tomorrow.
What buses is around there, brother? Help the people out. Is there a train station post? What goes around there?
There's
if they on
Uber.
Transportation, how can they get there?
The train, I mean, usually if it's New Haven, folks can usually get there because it's not that far anywhere in New Haven to get out to Hamden. It's about 10, 15 minutes. And then Ife put up here, it's $10 with a student ID, college ID, right?
Full-time students only.
Full-time students only. It's $10.
$10 with ID. Full-time. And that ID better not look like it came from 1990. Don't play with your brother because I will expose you at the door. I will expose you.
So you will be at the door checking it.
Yes, of course we checking it. Because black folks like to get over. So like when we say elder, 65 and older, every once in a while we get somebody 45, 55 years old talking about they 65.
Right.
Or you get a Negro 21 years old with a big beard and a big afro, 6'6", talking about I'm 16 years old.
Right. Oh, this is gonna be
17 and under free. And here's the thing: the reason why we don't want people to take advantage. And I'm the only scholar I know who offers these discounts. By the way, I'm the only scholar I know who offers these discounts with every lecture I do. Not all, not some of them. Every lecture.
Okay.
Don't cheat me because I need that money in order to do the programs we need. But I need that money for FDMG to deal with my travel expenses and legal fees and everything we got to do. Like this money, I'm nation building, y'all. We have a school that we got to renovate. And by the way, send in your donations. Please send in your donations. We are trying to renovate the building between March 1st and August the 1st. 6 months. We got 6 months to do it. We need $1 million to renovate all 4 buildings. $1 million total. And if we renovate those buildings by August the 1st, we got 6 months. From August the 20th to August the 25th, we're going to have a week-long quadricentennial, 400 years, 1619 to 2019 celebration of African history, life, culture, and ancestors. We're going to have entertainment, food, vendors, workshops, activities, seminars for the children, for men and women. Brother, we got 4 buildings. We got all the space we need. We got a big modern gym. We want to show you heaven on earth. So in order for us to have that celebration to commemorate our ancestors and just to commemorate Almighty God for even seeing us through these 400 years, we need donations. So brothers and sisters who want to donate, please, 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 mail your donation payable to the FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634. I repeat, FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware 19809. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware 19809. If you're coming out tomorrow, don't pay to bring the donation amount. Send the money with it to FDMG Academy. Make sure your phone number, your name, your email address is on your donation because I'm going to have a special ceremony at the school to honor all the brothers and sisters who cared enough about our boys to donate to this great, great movement.
Absolutely. Dr. Umar, I like I said again, when we first got on, I know you're busy, man. I really appreciate you. Because
Thank you, Black man. I appreciate you.
I did have the doubters inboxing me. He's not going to call. Forget it. But, and funny thing is, none of them are up here checking out the show right now. So, it is what it is. But everybody come out tomorrow. Again, you'll meet Dr. Umar tomorrow. It's at Whitneyville Cultural Commons Sanctuary, 1247 Whitney Avenue, Hamden, Connecticut, zip code 06517. And the topic is Beware of the Learning Disability Lynch Mob, Exposing Connecticut School to Prison Pipeline. And
that's right.
Tomorrow it starts at 4 p.m., right? Doors open at 2.
Doors open at 2, start at 4. First 30 children.
First 30 children.
Bag.
And they get a book bag. And if at the door is $25, right?
$25 at the door if you're not 17 and under, 65 and older, or a full-time college student with a valid ID.
I think you're gonna have a packed house tomorrow because everybody is gonna be people who love you, a few haters.
I don't mind, brother. We
I
all
know,
family.
I know you do. Again, brother, I really appreciate you. I'm trying to.
Thank
Now
you.
I know you. I know you're about healthy eating, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm not gonna even ask you about them Philly cheesesteaks. I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Brother, I am not going to lie to you, brother. I am from North Philly. The best cheesesteaks is in North Philly. And yes, I occasionally get down on a Philly cheesesteak, mushroom piece of Philly cheesesteak with peppers and onions, mayonnaise, cheese, and ketchup. Yes, brother. You're talking to a North Philly man right here. Yes,
That's
sir.
why I said, you know what? I got to bring it up because I've been to Philly, and every spot I went in, I made the mistake of saying, "How you doing? Can I get a steak and cheese?" They was like, "You want a what?" No, you want a Philly cheesesteak. I was like, "My
Philly
bad,
cheesesteak, brother.
my bad."
PHILLY.
Philly cheesesteak. Woo!
That's right.
Yo, my brother.
Willie, Billy, Jilly, and Meek Millie. Philadelphia.
Philadelphia in the building. Definitely. We'll see you tomorrow, good brother. And understand this. I want to let you know this. Whenever you're in town and you need a platform, I'm here, man. It's to anytime.
I appreciate you, bro. Shoot me a text message so I can lock you in my phone, bro. 215-98. Or this ain't your cell that I called, is it?
Yeah, this is it right here. You can lock that in.
Okay, I can lock you in. Got you.
Okay, and
Appreciate
anybody that
brother.
needs to reach out to you as far as the ADHD thing.
Yeah, they can text me. Even if they need the ticket link, they can text me. Consultation, they want to, anything. We got the Africa trip coming up. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, too. 215-989-9858. Make sure you post the flyer and post my number as well and the donation information too, bro.
Absolutely. See you tomorrow, sir.
All right, now.
Again, thank you. Oh, Ife said, bring her one of them cheesesteaks in your luggage or something you carry on.
You should have told me earlier. I would have had one for you. Next time I got you.
I appreciate it, brother.
One love.
One love, my brother.
Peace and love.
Peace. Yo, that was Dr. Umar. I want to thank everybody for checking the Raw Report Special Edition, Friday night edition. Don't forget tomorrow. Let me post the information again so y'all can check it out. It's tomorrow. The Hamden, Connecticut, Whitneyville Cultural Commons Sanctuary, 1247 Whitney Avenue, in Hamden, Connecticut. Doors open at 2. Programs at 4 p.m. He said it's $25 at the door. Bring your Zach money or your credit or debit card. Or you can buy tickets online. They're $20. And y'all all know who Dr. Umar is, so check it out tomorrow. See you tomorrow. It's the Raw Report, baby. We out.